I saw a word that the reason why Shimon and Levi weren't wrong for killing the whole Shechem. No. They killed Shechem because they were complicit. The defiling of Dinah didn't happen in a vacuum. They saw what happened. They knew how Shechem was. They knew how Chamar was. And nevertheless, they didn't protest. They saw somebody be taken, be raped, and they didn't protest. So you have a yad in it. You're whatever. I don't know if it's Chayav Misa based it.
Same thing with Sedayim.
Shimon and Levi? No, they didn't. See, they saw it happen.
No, they told the city people.
Oh yes.
The reason why you should be killed is because you're complicit.
Right. Sure. Yes, absolutely.
Which is the same story over there. Every single one of those people are complicit.
Anyone with a brain knows that.
Right. They don't like Jewish people, so they,
How many females did Yaakov's family have? Marriageable age, or that they could make this deal that we'll take their daughters, they'll take our daughters.
According to the Medrash, each Shevet had a twin sister.
And according to that same Medrash, they married the other sister, right? Or what's it called? The Cananias.
There was even a
but
even
if
no?
I think Binyamin had two sisters.
Yeah, even if each one had a sister, a twin sister, Binyamin had two. So we're talking about 13 girls.
By the time he came down there, he may have had already a lot of maidservants.
Yeah, but not his own kids.
You can't. In those days, you couldn't marry your sister.
So one second. So basically, what my point is,
that's a midrash.
How was Shechem able to convince an entire city to convert because their daughters will marry with us, and we married also.
Biden convinces God to America.
That's
65 days ago.
They see Amisov coming in has a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's it. They see Jewish people have a lot of money. We're poor farmers. Let them come in. Maybe they have 10 daughters. Maybe they have $20. Whatever. It doesn't really matter what it is. But that's how they're able to do it.
Everyone had
and Shechem has a lot of money, and he's the powerful guy, and so people go along.
He was the Yichya Sinwar. It was the
one of the things that really bother me is what Nir says, that the government officials in Eretz Yisrael, the people on top, don't care about life. So you have 20 soldiers that were killed from friendly fire. That's what they came out with the report. Why? Because you have such close combat quarters, and you have to have certain rules.
The logistics.
So for the Israeli soldier, you have to have these strict rules. For who? Who are you trying to protect? Another assassin, another shvug, another chazer. So the people at the top, you need to follow the rule. You need to move because what's Biden going to say?
Yeah. So let's let this learning be. Chaved all the people that need a Yeshua over there, especially the politicians, and the Yidden that are in Shvi Hamas should come out alive. Like we found out, there's a few that already died.
It took 2 to be killed to find out that they died.
Yeah.
Oh, the soldiers went in there and they found the people down.
But 2 of them got killed.
2 of them got killed during that operation.
I don't know. It's
yeah. Zakti Gemara Daf Chav Beis Amid Beis. We're holding the Chav Beis Amid Beis. We're holding Amar Rav Yosi Bar Ovin, pretty much on the top of Chav Beis Amid Beis. Chav, sorry. What am I saying? Chav Amid Beis. Chav Amid Beis. Amar Rav Yosi Bar Ovin. So, what we learned until now was the concept of Shmuel the Choyka and Shmuel Kleva. Shmuel Choyka is a distant. You heard the news from a very distant, meaning that you heard the news only after 30 days after the person passed away, and then you only have to sit chill for a very short time, as we saw in the story that we brought down, that the guy said, take off my shoe, and then right away let's go to bring my clothing to the shower, to the bathhouse. Shmuel Kleva is something that happens within 30 days, and within 30 days you have to sit shiva, and you have to do shloshim and everything else. So if you find out after shloshim that a relative of yours passed away, you only sit for a very short time. Believe so it was by the Rebbe, I believe, when he found out that his father passed away. It was a Shmuel the Choyka, if I'm not mistaken. When the Rebbe's father passed away, he only found out later, if I remember correct. In any case, so we discussed, you have a Shmuel Koiva, you have a Shmuel the Choyka. 30-day mark changes from Kloiva to the Choyka. Now what happens if you find out that a relative passed away within the 30 days, but you can't sit Shiva because of outside factors, and when you could sit Shiva, when you could start sitting Shiva, now it's already after 30 days. So are you going to sit Shiva because you found out within the 30 days? Or you're not going to sit Shiva because right now it's already after the 30 days? Well, for example, you find that during Shabbos. Shabbos is day 30. On the 30th day, you find out that Friday night, you find out that someone passed away, and you have to start sitting Shiva, but you can't sit Shiva Shabbos. So Motzei Shabbos, it's already day 31. Or Yontif, you find out the Yontif, you find out day 23, 24, and you can't sit Shiva during Yontif because there's no Shiva Yontif, and you wait till after Yontif, and the whole thing, the whole Shleishim is over. But so he said, Shama Shmuel Koiva, he found out within the 30 days that someone passed away in Yontif. And now, if you wait till after Yontif, now it's after 30 days. So what do you do? So even though you cannot sit Shiva during Yontif, you will count Yontif. You will count Yontif as being part of finding out that he found out on the right time. However, because it's Yontif, after Yontif, you're only going to be sitting Shiva one day, or even less than one day. Okay, so if you find out during Chol HaMoed, or during the first days of Yontif, second days of Yontif, doesn't make a difference when, and after Yontif, the Shloshim is over, now it becomes a Shmuel, the Choyka, you only sit Yom Echad. Tana of Adam, the Min Kesa, Kamid Rabbi Yechanan. Adam learned like this. Shama Shmuel Keoiva, B'Shabbos. If he found out on Shabbos, the Talmud passed away. Or the Motzei Shabbos, but once it's Shiva Motzei Shabbos, now it's already nice as a Choyka. Again, and a Noyek, El Yom Echad. So both cases, if you find out and he can't sit Shiva because of Shabbos or Yontif, so if after Shabbos or Yontif it's after 30 days, now you're going to consider it as a Shmuel, the Choyka, and you don't have to sit Shiva the whole thing. So very nice. Shiva, you don't have to sit because Shiva and Shloishim, this whole concept gets erased or gets taken away by the Shloishim. What about Kriya? Kriya, should we say that because you found out during the Shloishim, and you should do Kriya? If you would have found out within the 30 days that someone passed away, then you have to do Kriya, you have to do Shiva, and you have to do finish up the Shloishim as far, depending how far you're into the Shloishim. But Shiva and Kriya you have to do. In this case, we say that on Shabbos and Yontif, because you found out in a time where you don't sit Shiva, you don't have to sit Shiva after Yontif because it's over. But maybe Kriya you should do. And even psychologically, you can say that Kriya you should do. Why? Because what does it say in Shabbos? In Shabbos it says that someone rips his garment. Why? Because he's upset, or because of someone that passed away. Then it's Mesa Machmas. What's it called? There's certain halachas about this. The point being is that ripping the garment is a psychological thing of helping you process the pain of someone passing away. So Mele Shiva you can't sit because Shiva goes down. It's halachas that take Shiva down. But maybe the mental anguish that you have and you want to let it out on something, maybe you should be allowed to do clear.
But Shali, these are Mishnayos or these are Minhag Yisrael?
No, this is Gemara that discusses going back on the Mishnah, discussing what's
Mishnah. So Mishnah has to do. There's Kriya Mishnah. There's all these things in Mishnah. Yeah, there's Kriya and everything from Mishnah.
No. Oh no, this is clear for ripping garments.
I understand, but it has. But it's a Mishnah.
It's a Mishnah that what's it called?
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that.
Do you rip garments? In this case, in any case, after 30 days, you don't rip garments. We discussed it already. Within 30 days, you rip garments. In this case, where you found out in between, when the thing changes, do you rip the garments or not? So Rabmani said, you don't have to rip garments, and that's the halacha. Rabmani says, that you do rip garments. Rabmani said, why do you say that you have to rip garments? Ripping garments is directly connected with sitting Shiva. Why do I say that you don't have to rip the garments? Because there's no avelos. Shiva, there's no avelos of Shiva. But according to you, that you say you do rip your garments after, even if you found out in Yontif and after Yontif 30 days are over, you still have to do Kriya. Why? Kriya is directly connected with Shiva. And if there's no Shiva, we just said there's no Shiva, then there shouldn't be any Kriya. Okay? So that's what he answered him. So he didn't even have a chance to answer him, and he doesn't answer him, as we will see in the Gemara. But the Gemara pops in and says, who says that Kriya is connected with Shiva? Zadimar. Veloy, yeah.
Veloy means
A question mark. Veloy, is Shiva, does Shiva have to be connected with Kriya? Is the Vatana Isi Yavud Rav Zera? Isi the father of Rav Zera? V'amudans, other people say, Ach Rav Zera, Kamed Rav Zera. Some people said, Isi, the father of Rav Zera, told Rav Zera, or the brother of Zera told Rav Zera. What did he do? What did he say? Misha Eilei Cholok Likoya. If someone does not have a garment to rip for Kriya, so he doesn't Kriya. V'nizdamen lebetoich Shiva, and during he's sitting Shiva, and now someone gives him a garment. That's during Shiva, then you rip your garment during Shiva. What happens if you get a garment la'acha Shiva, after Shiva? Then it doesn't rip the garments. But we see already from here that it doesn't. You don't start Shiva the same time when you do the garments, the ripping garments. It's not connected with one another. End of on the weiter. Answer him. When do we say that you don't rip your garments if you get a garment afterwards? Is only the 5 people that died. We said last week there's 7 people you have to sit shiva on: father, mother, and then brother, sister, son, daughter, and wife. So the 5 mesa mitzvah: brother, sister, daughter, son, and wife. If you don't have a garment ripped during shiva, you don't rip it. If you get a garment after shiva, you don't rip it. But avol al ovival imoy you do ripping. You continue ripping until the shloshim is over. And so what do you see from here? That you could rip garments. Not only doesn't Shiva start with the ripping the garments, but you can also rip it after. As you see, on a father and a mother, you do rip your garments even after Shiva. And for the Gemara, Kitanya halacha. Yes, the halacha, you don't have to rip your garments. If you did not have a garment during Shiva, you do not have to rip your garments after Shiva. However, for the honor of the father and the mother, they said that after Shiva, if you got a garment, you should rip it. Okay, so basically, what we have here right now is that in a case of ripping, when you find out that someone passed away at a time when your status switches from Shmur Kleva to Shmur Chaika, if you find out during that time, and then by the time you want to sit down to do Shiva, it becomes a Shmur Chaika that's now after 30 days, you don't have to sit Shiva, you don't have to do Shloshim after Shloshim is over. But not only that, you don't have to rent your garments, because we go according to the Mana, we don't have to rent your garments. And when do you have to rent your garments for your parents? If you did not have a garment to rip during Shiva, so after Shiva you got a garment, you can rip your garments. So they explained here, on a side note, what does it mean someone doesn't have a garment? Who doesn't have a garment?
You're wearing a garment.
You wear somebody.
No, what happens if he has only one shirt?
Doesn't make a difference. Rip it.
And that's it. Then he has no more shirts.
Then you get a new shirt. Worry about that later. So the Ashi says,
get a new shirt.
Says,
before in the Gemara we learned about a guy that has one shirt and 2 shirts and 2 shirts and 1 shirt. Could he wash
that's washing.
Some people only have one shirt.
So the Ashi in Ksav Yoshin.
You don't rip every type of garment.
Rashi in what's it called, in Ksav Yoshin, which according to many Meforshim, this was the Rashi they had. The Rashi we have in here, they don't know the sources, but this is the Rashi they had. So the Rashi says, "Begave artiloya skidan," talking about a naked person, doesn't have. Yeah, what does the Targum say? Vayushneim alumim by Adam and Chava. Artiloya. They were what's it called? They were naked. So begave artiloya skidan. We're talking about people that don't have garments.
And they don't even have one shirt.
Some Meforshim and Tosfos within them says it's a little far fetched to say that.
Sure.
So what are we talking about? It could be talking about someone that doesn't have his own clothing. No one's going to walk around. No one is so low to walk. Even the homeless walk around with something. Now we're talking about someone that is doesn't have his own. He borrows. You can't rip someone else's garments, even if you said shiva. You can't rip someone else's garments. So on a side note, what's shak mishein lecholok? Other people say that there's certain things where you don't at certain times. There's certain things you don't rip. Certain garments you do rip. Certain garments you don't rip. Anyways, so this is the thing. We have a shmur kleva. Shmuel, if you find it within 30 days, you rip your garments, you sit shiva, you do finish the shloishim, and you go on. If you find it after 30 days, you only sit for a day. And if you find it in between, then you and if you by it was switching this, you middle switching from Shmuel Shmuel Chaika. So then you will consider, you do everything like Shmuel the Chaika, and that's it. You don't rip your garments. Zogt the Gemara. Tana Rabbanu. On a side, finishing up, let's see what's it called. There are many. The Shonim actually write, the Rosh, the Ramban, write that for your father and mother, you will end up ripping you do clear not only the week after, if you don't have a garment, not only you can rip your garments until the full year. As I see later on in many stories that people ripped garments the whole year long, till the Shtemus Chodesh. Okay, Tanabana, Kol Alma Pashas Kahanim. An interesting about it. Anything that we learn in Pashas Kahanim, what's called Pashas Kahanim, Emer Kahanim B'nei Aaron, the Nefesh Leitama Ba'amof. Yeah, that's the famous Pashas Kahanim. And what does it say there? Ki'im L'She'eda Kol Avelav, only to your close relative, La'oviv U'le'imoy. What does it say weiter? La'oviv U'le'imoy, Lo'idum Vitoy, U'le'achiv. And the next pasuk, U'le'achoysa Psulo Shloizish. What does the pasuk say? That you should not, a kohen should not become tamei to his father, his mother. No, sorry, he should not become it to anyone, but to his father and mother, daughter, son and daughter, and the brother, and also a sister that did not get married. You could become tamei. So the Gemara, yeah. So from here, the Gemara says over here, Kol Olam Pashas Kahanim shekohen mitama lohen. Whatever we learn in Pashas Kahanim, that the kohen is allowed to become tamei to them. Ovel misabalim, the same relatives, a ovel will have to sit shiva. You'll have to do avelus. Okay, so basically, a ovel sit shiva, father, mother, son, and daughter, wife, and sister that didn't get married. Hoisifu, that's minatoya. Ve'elohein ishtoi, his wife, aviv ve'imoy, his father, mother, achiv achoisoi, brother and sister, b'nai bita, son and daughter. Hoisifu aleina chacham moisiv. They added his brother and his sister Hapsula me'imoy from his mother's side. Okay, the pasuk, when the pasuk says Achiv, his brother, and the pasuk says Achoisai is only his brother and his sister from his father's side. How do we know that? So I tell you that how do we know that? I looked around and the Meforshim right, because Azoid, the Achiv means your brother from your father. If your parents were split and you got remarried, whatever, you have a sister from a mother's from the mother that's not the same sister from the father, you wouldn't sit shiva. And a kohen is allowed to be matame.
Doesn't Yuchsin everything go after the father anyway?
Correct, but it doesn't say in the Torah clearly like that. It says achiv achoisai. So till in the Div, the Rashi on the Div points you in the Torah Kahanim. Torah Kahanim says very clearly and very simply. The pasuk says, "Bnoi ubitu ve'achiv," your son and your daughter and your brother. And basically, they're saying that your brother and your sister coming after your son and daughter. Why did they come after your son and daughter? Because it wants to teach you that the brother and the sister have to be like your daughter and son. Same way your daughter and son is someone that will inherit you, that there is a shaykhs of inheritance. Same thing also, a brother and sister is only a brother and sister that you will inherit. So a brother from a mother's side, you don't inherit. A sister from a mother's side, you also don't inherit. Why don't you inherit them? It could be because their inheritance is from the father's side, which is no connection to you. But you don't inherit a brother from a mother. You don't inherit a sister from a mother. So basically, the pasuk when it says b'noi ubitoi, and then it says ochiv achoisoi, the brother and the sister have to be like b'noi ubitoi. So now, when the Torah comes and says that these 7 people you have to sit shiva, so the chacham have to come be moisiv, and people say the Shonim say because the chacham moisiv, this type of shiva is not midah. I said it's only midah labanan. But in any case, they are moisiv, a brother and a sister that the psula from the mother's side. That also a sister that is married both father and mother, you sit shiva. At the end of the day, it's very simple. The kohen can only be metama to 7, and out of the 7, it's only a brother from the father's side and a sister from the father's side that's not married. The chacham came and added.
I don't know if the brother's married, he still have to sit shiva.
I'm not talking about the brother. The kohen has to be could be metame to 7 to everyone. A sister only if she was not married.
Right.
The chacham came and now the Gemara says that we took the same 7, we applied it for avelus, but we added 3. Who did we add? We added a sister that is not married. Sorry, we added a sister that is married. Sorry, a sister that is married from the father's side. We added a sister that's not married
From the mother's side.
from the mother's side. A sister that's married from the mother's side as well. We added basically your sister, whether she's married or not, whether she's father's side or mother's side, we added her, and a brother. From the mother's side, we also added. So we added a sister, we added a brother, we added a sister that's married and a sister that's not married from the mother's side.
But that's for Avelus, not for Tumah.
Avelus, Tumah not. That's
Avelus Darabanan has any differences?
I didn't have a chance to look at, but there's right as well as about it. So there's probably certain things that there's difference. Yeah. So basically, that you said shiva. The same way you have avelus for those 7 plus the 3 that we mentioned before. The same thing also, misabel al shnim shalem, the second generation. So father and mother, you go up, you have to go only up because you can't go down. So it's a father and a grandfather, father and a grandmother, mother and grandfather, mother and grandmother. When it comes to brothers and sisters, so it's their children. You will sit shiva on their children. A wife, you will sit shiva if her father and mother passed away, and the daughter and son also if their children. Basically, you spread out second generation. According to this, you sit shiva
for the next generation.
This next generation, for the surrounding generation. If you be grandparents.
I never heard such a.
1 second.
This only applies to biological brothers and sisters.
Yes, brothers and sisters.
So
but
in other words, if they came in through marriage and they were already born,
no,
it
yes,
doesn't apply.
Doesn't apply. However, if they came in through marriage and then they have absolutely nothing to do with, like we said with the case of Abchia.
Biological brothers.
What?
They're not your biological brothers.
Or half biological
Not
brother or sister.
half, yes.
No, half yes.
Half
That's
we
the
just
whole
said yes.
picture from the
Right.
Rabbanon.
Half we just said yes. If they said, like the story of Abchia, but Abchia were Rav's father and mother were not related at all, but they shared a half brother. So yeah, Abchia has to sit shiva on both. But if they would have not gotten married, then Rav's father Avoy would not sit shiva on the Abchia's sister. But if they wouldn't be married, now as his wife, he had to sit shiva. But if they wouldn't be married, then they would not have to sit shiva one another, even though they were kind of from the same family after the marriage. But in any case, on the second generation here, there's no blood relation, because we say the wife's parents, you're sitting shiva for. There's no blood relation of with your wife's parents. Right? The only blood relation is your offspring, so or your brothers. What no. In any case, so we say the Tanakam, which is the Bakiva, says that you sit shiva on the second generation if you go up or down. Shimon ben Elazar says no. No, we don't go crazy of everyone. Your grandchild, yes, you'll sit shiva, and your grandfather you'll sit shiva, but no one else. And the Tosfos adds Aviov al ben benoi that Pirsh Tosfos b'Tosfos Rav b'Shem Rabbi du hadin Aviimoy, the father of his mother, or Bas Bito, and the daughter of his daughter. So basically, it could be more than that. It's not only it's more than that. They explain it's more than that. Basically, your grandchildren you sit, and your grandfathers, but not your grandmothers, and not the whole spiel of one of your sister's sons, your brother's kids. You don't sit shiva. That's the Rab Shimon Elazar. The Tanchama called misabel olav misabel imoi. Whoever you will sit shiva on, for. You have 7 people that you have to sit shiva for. Those 7 people, or 8, 9, 10. Those 8, 9, 10 people you will sit shiva with. So whoever is shiva for, you have to sit shiva with. For the Gemara, it's the same
not the
thing.
next generation.
It is. Your brother, not your brother, but someone's brother that has a child that passed away, you will sit shiva on, this person will sit shiva on for his brother, right? So he is misabel Olav. If Reuven has a brother Shimon, if Shimon passes away, Reuven has to sit shiva for Shimon, correct? So now the Chacham say, whoever you sit shiva for, you also sit shiva with. What's pshat? That if Shimon loses a relative, you will sit shiva with him. You have to sit shiva on, Reuven has to sit shiva on Yaakov. If Yaakov loses a relative, you'll sit shiva with Yaakov. Called Shem misabel I Olav, misabel imoy. Whoever you have to sit shiva for, you will sit shiva with. So the truth is, this ends up being the same thing as Rabbi Akiva. Because Rabbi Akiva said that everyone around, the whole second generation, your father's parents, and your mother's parents, and your sister's children, your brother's children, your children's children, it's basically the whole second generation around. And according to the Chacham, it's the same thing. Those 7, 8, 9, 10, or 10 people that you have to sit shiva for, you have to sit shiva for their relatives. So it's the same thing, essentially. So the Gemara, Chacham hainu Tanakama. Chacham the same thing as Tanakama. It says the same thing. And there's a big difference. Imoy babois. The Chachamim say that you have to sit shiva with them, only with them in the house. Outside the house, you don't have to sit shiva. So basically, it's saying that for your wife, if your wife's parents pass away, in front of her, you'll do different things that you for shiva. But when she's not there, you go party. So you don't have to do anything with shiva. In front of your wife, with your wife, yes, you'll do shiva. And you see stories later on the Gemara brings to bring this point out that when she's there, you'll have to sit shiva even for her parents. But when she's not there, it's not. So Rabbi Akiva says it doesn't make a difference when you sit when if she's there or not, or if your brother is there or not, or your sister is there or not. You'll always sit shiva on the next generation. But the Chacham say no. Only while the oval is there will you sit shiva with them. Not when he's not there, you don't have to sit shiva with them. Zog the Gemara. Ki had Amar Rav Lechia. Rav said to his brother.
His son, no?
Sorry, his son. Thank you. Rav told his son. Rav Huna also told the Rabbi his son when their son's wives passed away. The son's wife's parents passed away. So their mechutanim passed away. What did Rav tell his son to do? Be'apo nohug avelus. In front of her, you will do avelus. Beloy apo, but not in front of her, loy tinek avelus, you won't do avelus. Basically, telling the wife when she doesn't know, you're gonna do whatever you want, and then when she is there, you can't. This is the takia in I brought the takia in takia. What is it called? And the Arabs have a concept that you're allowed to lie. The Arabs have a what's it called? In the Muslim faith, you're allowed to lie if by lying you're trying to if it's for a greater cause or something like that. If you look it up, the exact laws, I'm sure that there's a lot of Meforshim in it exactly. You can add more and more. I'm saying like you're allowed to lie when it comes to Shalom Bayis, right? Not officially. But basically here also, when the wife is in front, yeah, you have to show you're very much in pain. You should get passed away. If she's not, then yeah. Listen, the Eibishter should help him that no one.
You have experience in them.
No one should help him that no one should ever have to sit shiva, and no one should sit shiva not for his own parents or his own relatives, and not for their relatives. Sheikhna, that's it.
Amen.
You shouldn't have to go through this whole thing.
Amen.
Okay, Malukva shochiv le ba chamua. Who passed away? The son of his father-in-law, right?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Why
His
don't
wife's brother?
basically? No, it's not. Why is it? What's it called? I believe it's Shviga passed away.
Why would it call Martha?
Yeah, I don't know. Some of the Mesa of Leo Shiva Shloishim. Someone from his it's not his blood relative, but someone that's related to a relative. So, Sava the Mesa Valeo, Shiva Shloshim, he thought he's going to sit Shiva and do Shloshim in the whole thing. Olav Avuna came up and visited him. Ashkechei found him that he was doing the minhag of the minhag of Shiva. Amalei told him, what are you looking for in the Shiva? The good food. So the nice boys l'mechel, you want to eat the Shiva food. That's what you're looking for. So he told him.
1 second. Rashi down here says Bar Chamua, Achi Ishtoi.
Okay, so it's
and Lamesa Valeha
means on the
with
wife.
his wife.
On the wife, yeah. I don't know why. What's it called? On the bottom. Yeah. I don't know why I. Okay. Anyway, so it's the brother. He sat shiva on the. He wanted to sit shiva on the brother to show his wife. So Rav Huna came and said, "What exactly are you looking for? You're looking for the good food, the oval food. This is what it's the nice boys lamech. You want to eat the available food." When they said that you should sit shiva for the honor of your wife. It's only on their parents. And takel alacha, that's what it is. The Tanya want to learn. If someone's father-in-law, mother-in-law passes away, you're not allowed to force your wife to beautify herself, to put on eye liners or whatever the stuff is in the eyes, and put red on their cheeks. But instead you should turn over your bed. So not only should you not do something, you should do something also to show that you're doing avelos, that you turn over your bed. When I give avelos, then you have the in an avelos. Also, if her mother-in-law or her father-in-law passes away, she's also not allowed to beautify herself. And they turn over the bed, and she does avelos with them.
Obviously, we don't do this today, so.
No, we don't do the kfiyas samita.
No, I'm saying we don't do the.
Right, but the Rambam writes the halacha that, right? The Rambam writes the halacha that if someone, passed away, you, especially if it's a shiva, do something. But with the food, it's not right. My sugar passed away. I had a bunch of kids at home. So my wife was there and I was home. And I get a phone call, like, is there any way for you to come over to the house? It's like, what is? So one of my brother-in-law, the Chabaras, his people decided to buy one night shiva food. They walked into Isis, and they literally walked into the house with like 3 cows. There was so much food there. So nice, you want to eat shiva food?
No, what's the halacha l'maisa that when my Bobby passed away, my mother was
you don't have
shiva,
to.
My father didn't do scratch.
No, la halacha you don't do anything. But the kfiyas samita, which we don't do in the literal sense, we don't turn over the bed. However, she's in a vela. She's not allowed to do a lot of things. We'll see the next page. She's not allowed to do tashon shemitah. She's not allowed to do certain things. So that there is a certain al-chakas kind of things that we do keep when a spouse is sitting shiva. I remember. I remember there was these.
But second, Leider, you also went through that.
Yeah.
Was it sure?
I didn't say shiva.
No.
Kids, who's gonna take care of the kids?
That's right.
Emmett said that.
So by the I think the non from world, they have this big thing about shiva food. So they once made an app. Everyone's posting where's the shiva food rating, so they can go visit. Anyways, that's a nice boy. I want to eat the shiva food. So the Gemara weiter. So the Gemara brings a raya that yes, when it comes to at the end of the day, all this is lat la halacha. You don't sit shiva for the second generation. You don't sit shiva for your in-laws. You show your wife an honor. You show your wife certain inyan of shiva that you take don't do. But then, so the Gemara says the Gemara brings the night that for if your wife is sitting shiva or the husband is sitting shiva, then she is not allowed to beautify herself, and he has to turn over the bed or she has to turn over her bed. V'tani Yidov, the Gemara, we learned another blaisa. Even though they said you're not allowed to force your wife to beautify herself with makeup, but in truth they said she still could pour him a cup, and she prepares his bed, which she washes hand, feet, and face, and all these things are affectionate things. All these things are the things that you're not allowed to do during the nida. But when it comes to avelos, it says here that you're allowed to do it. So it's very confusing. He doesn't say here that you have to turn over the bed. It says exactly the opposite. That all those things that are affectionate things, you're allowed to do. So what is it? Do you have to turn over the bed, which means basically you're not together? Or do you do all these things that are showing affection and closeness? So the Gemara, Kasha and Adodi, these two places are difficult with each other. They don't reconcile. And the first place that it says that you have to do this type of velos, you're turning over the bed. That's talking about Becham v'chamoisai by Shver and Shviga, the Kambashar Kloivim. But anyone else, yes, if she's not sitting shiva, but there's like another relative outside the 7 people that he sit, you don't have to sit shiva, and you can still have closeness and everything. Tani namahochi loy amuli chvoid ishta lecham lechabayis levat. Finish out there's a blessed that says that when they said that you should do some kind of shiva aspect to honor your wife, it's only talking about when her parents passed away, but not if her siblings passed away, or not if another person in her family that she has to sit shiva passed away, then you don't have to do that. It's only for her parents.
1 second. So the two brises. One brise says you shouldn't force her to beautify herself. Another brise says that she's allowed to wash her feet and face. His. So the stira
is that here she's allowed to do certain things that show a closeness.
Is it shiva?
No. So one brisa.
It doesn't say clearly in the second brisa who's sitting shiva. That's the point.
What's the question?
The question was in one brisa it says that if he's sitting shiva, she is not allowed to beautify herself, and not only that, but he has to turn over his bed, which means basically they cannot be together. And another place it says it says also that if she's sitting shiva, he is sitting shiva, she cannot beautify herself, and she has to turn over her bed. Basically, from here we see that if either the spouse's parents are sitting shiva, there's no being close together.
So what if they go to the mikveh that night?
That's a shayla. We don't push it off. It's a shayla you have to bring a love if that happens. Same thing if it happens if it's in Kippur and Tisha B'av night. You have to work it out with a love. But and in other places it says that even though it says that you're not allowed to make yourself beautiful, which can be an outside world thing. She's not only making herself beautiful for her husband, she's making to look good. But if it's something that's closeness between the husband and wife, that she's allowed to. It doesn't say who's sitting shiva. That's why they come later and says this is talking about a kind of shiva where it's not that close related. But if it's that close related, where her parents are sitting shiva or his parents are sitting shiva, yes, the spouse that's not sitting shiva has to show certain shiva aspects, and in the Gemara says by turning over the bed. Anyways, we say, and the Taisa says here is the Taisa that brings down that is it here or is what's it called that maybe later that we don't do kfiyas. Oh, that's later on. It says that we don't do kfiyas amit anymore. The concept doesn't exist, but again, the other concepts still exist. The other 11 things.
Interesting.
Okay. Amemar story. Amemar Shchivlei Bar Berei. Amemar, his son's son passed away. So it's his grandchild. Kora Iloye, he made clear. Asabrei, his son came and visited him, and it was during Shiva. His Kora Bape, he went again and he ripped his garment a second time. Itka, then he remembered the Miyushav Kora, that when he ripped his garment a second time in front of his son, he was sitting. And we'll see soon in a moment that when you do clear, you have to be standing. So he got up, a moment, and he ripped his garment a third time. That is a pshat according to Rashi, that he ripped his garment 3 times. Once by himself, second time in front of his son, third time the son didn't have to be there, but he remembered that he did it wrong. According to Tosfos, it's 2 times, and the Gemara is being read a little bit different. He ripped 1 clear. Asa his son came, and that first clear he did sitting, but he forgot about it. Asa his son came, and he ripped his garment again. Why did he rip his garment again? Because Itka, his son, reminded him that in Miyushav Kala, the first time you ripped the garment, you were sitting, and therefore, he got up and ripped it again. That's Tosfos' way of learning, that it was only 2 times, but not 3 times. So Rashi says, you ripped your garments 3 times, 1 in front of him, one not in front of him, second time in front of his son, and the third time because the second time we didn't do it right. And Taisa says no, it's 2 times, but the first time he wasn't doing it right, and his son reminded him that he did it wrong.
So you have to rip standing up.
Yeah, in any case, you have to rip standing. That's
So
what
if you rip sitting down, it's not.
You have to do it again.
Interesting.
So I think about Ashi turns to Meiman and says, okay, you stood up and you ripped your garment again. Where's that from? How do you know that you have to rip clear standing? Minolan, how do we know that clear has to be ripping garments, has to be standing? Because it says in Pasuk, Vayakam Eoiv stood up, Vayikras Mila, and ripped his garment. He heard all these bad things. Heard his daughters passed away. And so he stood up. It says here, Vayakam Eoiv stood up and ripped his garment. If that's the case, every time it says something about standing up, doesn't mean the person like has to stand. It says in the Pasuk by Chalitza. When the husband, the brother of the 2 brothers, one brother got married, he passed away, didn't have kids. His wife has to come and get married to him, and he doesn't want her. He stood up and he said, I don't want her. So does it mean V'amad here? Does V'amad mean standing? Does V'amad mean that he has to say these words when he's standing? Hachinami, does it mean that he has to stand up and say, I don't want to marry her? Ben Yoshe, Ben Oimed, Ben Muto. He can say these words sitting, standing, or even laying. So we see that not every time when it says a lashon of standing, does it mean real standing? So the same thing maybe here also by Eoiv. When it says v'yakam, doesn't mean standing. It's the Gemara, it's a pashta answer. The Gemara answers, it doesn't say that he, by Eoiv, he doesn't say vayamoid. Amoid can mean 2 things. It can mean stand, it can mean stop. Yeah? You know, in what's it called? How do you say stop in Hebrew? Or you say atzod or amod. Yeah, you in Lashon Kodesh. So amad can mean 2 things. Vayakam means only one thing, means physically standing up. By Eoiv it says vayakam Eoiv. He actually stood up. By the Chalitza it says va'amad. He stopped what he was doing. And now he says he stopped what he was doing, and now he says he doesn't want to marry. So Hasam leksiv vayamoid vayama, v'hachim ksiv vayakam vayikran. Here it says he stood up and he rent his garment. So from here we have a clear pasuk that you stand up and you rip your garment. Amar Bachama says the same thing. How do we know the kiyas moment? Shnema v'yakim Eoiv vayikran. That Eoiv stood up and he ripped his garment, rent his garment. Zog the Gemara, maybe this whole Eoiv thing is not a good proof. Why? Maybe Eoiv was doing an extra thing. Why would he be doing an extra thing? If he wouldn't say he was doing something extra. It goes weiter. The pasuk that brings down Eoiv, that said that he stood up and ripped his garment, it says the next thing he did was, he shaved his head. He shaved his head. An oval doesn't shave his head. What do you hear the oval shave his head? Maybe he was in such pain that he went and shaved his head and ripped his garment. Maybe the whole ripping garment is not really something you have to do. Eoiv did it because he was in so much pain. But it's not proof that whenever someone passed away, they have to rip your garment. Or especially standing up while you're ripping it. Zot Gemara, Hachinami, Elam Hacha, we learn from a different pasuk. Vayakam HaMelech Vika, by David HaMelech, he found that his son passed away. Vayakam HaMelech, the Melech stood up, Vayikras Begadav, and he ripped his garment. Okay, so Melech Melech stood up, ripped his garment, so we can learn from here that you stand up when you rip your garment. Fighting Mavadil Mishla saying himself, and maybe it's also an extra thing. Again, why would it be extra? If you wouldn't say that, it says in the pasuk by David HaMelech when he found that his son passed away. What did he say? It says, he laid down on the floor. We don't lay down on the floor after someone passed away. It's not a normal thing to do. Maybe David HaMelech did it again because he was a king and he wasn't in so much pain. Maybe that's why. So David HaMelech did an extra thing besides laying down on the floor. He also ripped his garment standing. So we can bring proof from here that you have to rip your garment standing. One second, sorry. Hachinami is also that he one second.
What's the original source in the Torah?
We had in Daf Tezvav and Aleph.
Okay.
We said that it says by the Kahanim that their head is to be. No, that's Tezvav and Aleph. What does this bring down here? The Bnei Aharon could not rip their garments, but everyone else is. By the way, as a side note, I've seen that people say that this is also not full. It's a real proof that there's a Kriya min HaTorah. It says that there's a concept of Kriya for someone who passes away, because they were saying that maybe the Bnei Kohanim were told that while everyone is allowed to do Kriya on novel, it's not considered about tashchis because you want to express your feelings, you want to process your pain, whatever. But there's no chiyuv of kriya. But the kahanim, even that they're not allowed to. That's what I want to bring down. So the Rambam brings down, and basically they're saying that the whole kriya is not min HaTorah, it's only min HaRabbanan. But in any case,
You gotta know this stuff.
I'm saying it's only with the Rabbanan. Then why we're bringing proofs from Sukkim about the standard of sit?
You're my favorite Kohen. I'm bringing you all the Truman Meiser. You're my favorite guy. You gotta know the stuff.
again, it's a machlokas. It's a machlokas. You'll see at the end, it stays without a pasuk. At the end, it states we don't have proof that is what's it called. They want to bring a proof that's min HaTorah. Maybe at the end they didn't bring proof min HaTorah. But here we brought a proof from Iyov ben Aktadam. We brought proof from David, and it says Vishkavat Zachanamim. That may be also there, but Yishkavatza is too much. And when David stood up to rip his garment, it was something that he did additional. He did basically, he didn't have to do it.
There used to be more minhagim, or
There were two minhagim, the two additional minhagim they had that we don't do. Kfiyas Samito and Atifas Leish.
Sak Ve'efer, that was ever a thing? Sak Ve'efer as a sign of mourning.
No, I don't think so. Sakve was a zeicha for the chulban. We do it at
Where did the
simchas.
Goyim get their idea from to wear black at a funeral?
Mislabish choyde, milbash choyde, what's it called?
Take
Yeah.
everything from the Torah, so that's where they get their...
Okay. Just finish off this thing over here. Batania, Yoshev al gab mita al gab kisa al gab udaine. If someone sat during shiva on a chair, on a bed, or on a it's a crush, a big crush, something you crush spices or something, some big grinder thingy. Or he said al gabe kalka. He is not yotzei chavasa. We see here that David HaMelech, when he was yishkav also, he was not yotzei shiva with that. He was not yotzei his chayva. That for them that this whole concept of sitting on the floor or laying on the floor is not part of shiva. So Mele, why did David do it? Muslims say that David lay down because it was an extra. He wanted to do something extra. So maybe the standing up and ripping garments while standing is also extra, and we can bring proof from here that you have to rip your garments while you're standing. Why is it not yaitze? Because he wasn't doing kfiyas samita. All these things, sitting on the bed, even sitting on the floor, is not considered kfiyas samita. So David HaMelech did not really sit on the floor. He almost sat on the floor, which means he did kfiyas samita, and so that he did lalacha. From here, we could see that you can stand up and rip your garments. And we'll finish here.
Looks good.
Chaim.
It's good. It might.